and welcome to Let's Talk Business. I'm Priyanshi Sharma. Let's first start with how the markets performed. Well, benchmark indices ended higher in trade today. Sensex jumped over 300 points and the Nifty was up 97.7 points. The biggest gainers for the day were L&T, ITC, Britannia and Reliance Industries, while losers were Bajaj Finance, M&M, Bajaj Finserv and Tech Mahindra. My colleague Hiral Daria joins us from the BQ Prime newsroom with all the market action. Over to you, Hiral.
After three consecutive sessions of decline is when the bulls have actually taken control in the markets, and we did see Nifty hit a high of 19,825 and closing above those 19,750 levels. In fact, there was a lot of support that did come in from the banking majors as well, with Bank Nifty ending with gains of almost 0.5%. In fact, the PSU Bank Index was the top gaining sector in today's trading session. If you see in terms of the advanced decline ratio, that was also pretty much in favor of the bulls, and overall, the confidence in terms of the stocks was mainly from Reliance Industries, L&T, as well as ITC, Infosys. These were the top stocks that were contributing to the kind of gains that we saw on Nifty as well as the Sensex. Let's quickly look at the top gainers today. L&T on the back of the earnings as well as the 10,000 crore buyback was the top gainer today. ITC has started to see some buyback, some buying interest once again. Britannia was another one. Reliance Industries is again seeing some buying interest, as well as the Axis Bank. On the losing end, you had Bajaj Finance, which reported numbers on the back of which both the counters, that's the twins, were under pressure. M&M was under pressure, TVS Laboratories was under pressure, as well as a Tech Mahindra, which has been trading under pressure. Let's quickly look at the newsmakers, Tata Motors and Tata Motors DVR. And the DVR actually hit a record high, and this is after the board has proposed to cancel the A shares. So good momentum on the DVR today. Canfin Homes dropped after the employee fraud. You have Aurobindo Pharma that was in focus on the back of the US FDA completion in terms of the inspection at their Unit 1. And you had transformers and rectifiers on the back of the order win. Indoco Remedies, but the facility received the GMP certification, and the back of which that counter was in focus as well. On the back of an earnings reaction, you had names like Cipla, BPCL, Kajaria Ceramics, PNB, GSK Pharma, UTI and Deepak Fertilizers. All of these names reacted on the back of earnings. However, if you go to see, yes, it's a day where we've seen a lot of stock-specific action in the markets, but clearly this is after three consecutive sessions, as I mentioned in the beginning, where the bulls have taken control. Whether they are able to continue taking control is what we need to wait and watch. And as we know, tomorrow is expiry, so the volatility is expected to continue to remain high in tomorrow's session as well. But what happens in the last hour of trade is going to be anyone's guess. Back to you.
And L&T shot up over 4% following the June quarter earnings and the announcement of a share buyback. The construction major has reported 34% year-on-year growth in the consolidated revenues, with the international segment contributing 40% of the total. The company also announced a 10,000 crore rupees buyback program via the tender offer route. The buyback is to be done at a maximum price of 3,000 per share and will involve 2.4% of the fully paid up equity share capital. Meanwhile, top brokerages Jefferies and Kotak Equities have come out with their views on the stock. While the former has a buy stance, the latter recommended reduce, calling the valuation expensive. And moving on to the other stocks in focus today, Tata Motors is in focus. The company has cancelled the differential voting rights, or DVRs, in an attempt to simplify its capital structure, which means the company will swap DVRs with ordinary shares and offer 7 ordinary shares for every 10 DVRs held. In the other stocks in focus, two-wheeler maker Bajaj Auto reported a double-digit rise in its June quarter net profit, backed by strong domestic revenues. Talking about the other companies, India's largest paint maker, Asian Paints, the net profit for the company has risen 52% in the first quarter, beating analyst estimates. The jump was driven by robust demand in the rural sector. Margins also showed an improvement as raw material costs softened. But despite all of this, while we focus on the overall global growth and inflation picture, the US Federal Reserve is likely to raise interest rates for the 11th time since March 2022. The investors will be looking for further details on the potential hike in the Fed's September meeting after July's policy meet, which concluded today. Indeed, the Fed's path is far more from certain. Central bank policymakers almost unanimously believe that inflation is too high, but analysts are concerned that further hikes pose risks to the economy at large that many predict is headed for a mild recession. That's all we have for you on Let's Talk Business today.